Hello, hi, good morning. It's 10 o'clock, and we are waiting for people to join us today. Today, I'm going to talk about discovery meetings. I'm going to give you 4 tips on how not to foul up your discovery meeting. Okay, so we are going to wait for people to join us. You can say hi in the chat when you're there. It will be nice for me to know that there is someone actually interacting with me. So you can also write what's the weather like where you are, because today it's a bit worse than it was yesterday. Yesterday, I remember that I woke up and I just really wanted to get up because it was so sunny and bright. And today I woke up and it was a bit darker and a bit gloomy, maybe a bit rainy. But I hope to give you a bit of sunshine today with the language that I'm going to present. So we can wait 1 more minute for people to join us. Remember, you can say hi. It will be nice for me if you just say hello. In a moment, I'm going to introduce myself and I'm going to present the agenda for today. So it's 10:02. So let's say that I will move on with my slides 10:03, and we are going to start with a nice picture that is connected with discovery meetings and with medicine and doctor. So if you are there, you can just now look at the picture. It should be visible. So I can tell you that actually I have used this picture to teach about discovery meetings countless times. I think that everyone knows that if you want to sell a product and make your clients satisfied and come back to you for more when they need, the most important is to get to know the client and their pain and create a tailor-made medicine, a tailor-made cure for their pain. I don't want to say disease, for their pain. Yes. So in selling like medicine, prescription before diagnosis is malpractice. This is what you can see on your screen. So discovery meetings is like diagnosis. Yes, you need to be like a doctor, ask a lot of very thorough and detailed questions to get to know what's going on, because it can be connected, like the symptoms don't have to be connected. No, they can cover the real pain, like that. Yes. Okay, so during this short webinar, I am not going to teach you how to conduct a thorough discovery meeting or thorough diagnosis, because there is not enough time for it. And it's very specific. Discovery meeting is very specific to the industry and very specific to the client. However, during this short webinar, I'm going to help you enrich your language for any discovery meetings. Okay. So let's move on. I'm going to present CoAction first. So at CoAction, we specialize in equipping business professionals and companies with effective communication skills to secure international clients. What sets us apart is, first, we evaluate your current proficiency in English communication by conducting an audit on how you interact with clients or project stakeholders. It usually means running a simulated discovery call or a product pitch or any other scenario that is relevant to your role, to your company. Second, the audit outcomes help us structure your training plan specifically around the language pieces you miss, just to make your communication smooth and succinct. And we think we've got a good grasp the communication context in the tech industry, but we've helped professionals from many other industries as well. Now, I'd like to introduce myself. So in the next slide, here, you can see me, my picture, and if you want, you can connect me on LinkedIn. I have taught English for almost 17 years, and I have taught individuals and groups. I have been a senior teacher. I have been an academic manager, and now I am a head of training at CoAction. And during my professional experience, I have met a lot of different people from different backgrounds, and I needed to adjust my communication and be able to discover their pain in their language journey and set goals for them. In addition, I need to juggle the demands of managing a dynamic team at CoAction while ensuring quality time with my family. And what is important for this webinar is that during my studies, I got interested in psycholinguistic. And since then, connecting psychology, because this is psycholinguistic, connecting psychology and the language, since then, it has been my passion. And discovery meeting is asking the right questions, using the right words, using the right communication tools. So this is connecting psychology with language. So by these right tools, you can develop the relationship with your prospect or the client and gain their trust. Okay, so now I want to tell you that if you stay with us till the end of this webinar, not only will you enhance your English language, English skills, but also you will get a surprise. But that's later on. Okay, are you ready to start? If you're ready, let's move on. So we have the agenda here. So I'd like to, I actually divided this webinar into 4 parts. They are going to be interactive, okay? So the first tip that I'm going to tell you, I called why, what, who, when, how much, how many, which one. The second is in a nutshell. The third, correct me if I am wrong. The fourth, referring to what you said earlier. Okay, so as you can see, the first one is connected with what? With asking questions. The second, if you know what in a nutshell means, then you know that it will be about sophisticated language using idioms. The third one, correct me if I am wrong, is about paraphrasing, is about understanding, like checking if you understood. And the fourth is organizing, structuring. It's about organizing your discovery call. Okay, if you have any questions, you can type in the chat. I will try to answer them. Just remember there is a delay, short delay. So I will probably receive your questions a bit later and I will be able to answer them a bit later. And this webinar is going to be interactive. So you can just type. I will ask you in some stages to type something in the chat. Okay, ready to start with tip number 1? Let's go. Okay, so tip number 1. Okay, the first and the most important tool, forming questions. Yes, discovering someone's needs is all about asking the right questions, getting from the big picture to details. Okay, I'll try to give you some general beginnings that you can use for any discovery meeting. But before we do this, before I'm going to discover something for you, let's just do an exercise together. Okay. Here you have a dialogue. Okay, a dialogue between a customer success manager and a client. And I'm going to read it right now for you. As you can see, there are 2 gaps. And this is the exercise I'm going to ask you to do. Okay, in a moment, not yet. I'm going to give you a link And by entering the link, you will be able to type in your answers. Okay, so let's just go through the dialogue. Customer Success Manager. Good morning. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. I'm excited to discuss your needs and how we can tailor our CRM solution to meet them. To start, could you about your business and the specific challenges you're currently facing? Good morning. Absolutely. Happy to be here. Our business is in the consulting industry and we've been growing rapidly. One of our main challenges is managing client relationships efficiently. We're looking for a CRM solution that can streamline our processes, from lead generation to project management. That's great to hear about your growth. Understanding your workflow is crucial. Can your current client management process, from the moment you identify a potential lead to closing a deal and managing ongoing relationships? Okay. So now, okay, think what you can type in the gaps, and I'm going to give you a link. Okay. So the first we need to write. We need to write 3 words for the first gap. Okay, and when you're ready, I will change the question and you will need to write 3 words for the second gap. Okay, and tell, very nice, thank you. I can see the answers. Remember that you need to write 3 words, okay? Great. Please tell me more. Please explain. Could you explain? Nice. Great. Okay. Thank you for your answers. Nice. Nice. Okay. I will share the answers we have. Okay. So here it's still open, so you can still type your answers if you want to. Thank you. Okay, here the first feedback I'd like to give you, I don't know who answered and I don't know who typed what. Just remember that the verb tell must be always with somebody. Tell somebody. Okay, so tell me, tell you, tell him. Okay, just try to remember this first tip from today. Okay, nice. Okay, so let's just move on to the second question. Okay, so here now you should be able to type 3 words for the second task. So I'm just going to give you some time to do it. And when you type, you will see the answer section. Thank you. Okay, thank you for the music in the background. That was nice. Okay, through, walk, me, clarify, describe, great. Okay, let's come back. Actually, like the answers were visible for a moment on the screen, but that's okay. You can see the answers here. Okay, so you were correct. Yes, tell me more is the first, and walk me through. That's the second. Okay, and these are I would like again to remember today these two verbs, phrasal verbs. Tell me more, because during the discovery meeting, you always need to get more information. Yes, tell me more. Tell me more about this. Tell me more about that. Okay, walk me through. This is also very important because in many cases, you need to know the process. So you would like your client or your prospect to walk you through some kind of process. And when you listen to this description, then you can identify where you can jump in and what kind of medicine you can prescribe. Okay, another very important verb that could be used here is expand on. This is also what I would like you to remember. It's not here visible, but expand on. Could you expand on the process of something? Okay, so 3 things to remember, 3 verbs that are very often used during discovery meetings. Tell me more, walk me through, expand on. Okay, are you ready for the next slide? Okay, if you are ready for the next slide, it's here. It's about indirect questions. Okay, I don't know if you heard about indirect questions. What's the difference between a question and indirect questions? So in English, we have direct questions. For example, are you busy? And indirect questions. Okay. Indirect question, in case of every question can be changed into indirect question. So are you busy can be changed into, I was wondering if you are busy because I need your help. Okay, can you hear the difference in the tone, how it's said? Okay. Are you busy is just a simple, short, informal question. I was wondering if you are busy because I need your help is very diplomatic. And this is actually, yes, psycholinguistic. Okay, so why we use indirect questions? Indirect questions are connected with psycholinguistic, and they give the interlocutor a sense of having a choice whether to answer the question or not. Of course, in most cases, they will answer the question, but it gives them the sense of choice, which is and they feel more comfortable with it. Okay, so on the left side, you can see questions, okay, that are direct, quite long, but still direct questions. What are the key functionalities and features you envision for your ideal CRM solution? How many users do you anticipate will need access to the CRM system, and what roles will they have within your organization? Are there any integrations with other systems or software platforms that the new CRM solution will need to support? These are all direct questions. They can be changed into indirect questions. Yes. And how? You have the beginnings of indirect questions on your right, okay, on the right side. Could you provide insight into? Can you describe? Could you tell me more about? Could you walk me through? Do you know if? I was wondering if. Okay. Now, think about the options. You don't have to type in the chat. Just think, how would you connect? Okay. The beginning on the right, choose one beginning on the right, and try to change one of the questions on the left into indirect question. It's just an exercise for just for yourselves, okay? Because in a moment we are going to practice. Okay. For example, we can say, could you walk me through the key functionalities and features you envision for your ideal CRM solution, for example. I'm going to show you, okay, if we can move to the next slide. There are actually, examples. Okay. Could you tell me what the key functionalities and features you envision for your ideal CRM solution are? Do you know how many users will need access to the CRM system and what roles will they have within your organization? And I was wondering if there are any integrations with other systems or software platforms that the new CRM solution will need to support. Okay, now if we move to the next slide, you will see practice time. So this is the time when you need to practice. Maybe for a moment we can go back to the beginnings, to the previous slide where you have the beginnings. Could you tell me, yes, could you provide insight into, can you describe, could you tell me more? Try to remember these, because in the practice time, I will give you the direct question and I will ask you to type in the chat, change this direct question into indirect question, type in the chat with the beginning that you have here. Okay? So we can, for a moment, leave it so that you remember. Okay, ready? Okay, so now the direct question is, who is responsible for the technical aspects of the system? Try to change it into indirect question. You can type in the chat. Who is responsible for the technical aspects of the system? Try to change it into indirect question. Who is responsible for the technical aspects of the system? Okay, nice. Can you walk me through the technical aspects of the system? That's a great question. Thank you very much for this. Okay, so let's try another one. Okay, another one is it working well? Is it working well? Is it working well? How can you change this direct question into indirect question? Is it working well? We can say yes, for example. Do you know if it is working well? Okay, so I'd like to look at these two questions and show you the difference. We can say, do you know, with both questions, do you know who is responsible for the technical aspects of the system? Do you know if it is working well? So if we don't have the question word, then remember that we need to use if, okay? Okay, I think we are ready to move to tip number 2. Yes, thank you. So to sum up, questions. Questions are important. You can use direct or more diplomatic indirect questions. And there are very important verbs that you can use. Tell me more, walk me through, expand on. So now let's jump into tip number 2. Okay. So we have, it's called in a nutshell, and it's about using vocabulary. And we are going to jump into idioms. So in a moment, I'm going to present pictures, and I would like you to look at the picture and try to figure out the idiom that is represented in the picture. Okay, so I'm going to now share my screen with this. Okay. Okay, you should be able to see this. Guess the meaning. Okay, so we have, actually, by the way, the pictures are generated by artificial intelligence. Okay, so we have the ground. Okay, and we have a shoe, a running shoe. Okay, do you have any idea what it can mean? What's idiom? Okay. Yes. So I don't know if you know the idiom. It's hit the ground running. Okay. So hit the ground running. What it means, okay, to start doing something and continue very quickly and successfully. Okay. So you want to start the project. Yes. Hit the ground running. Like that. Okay, so we hit the ground running with the last project. Yes, okay, or with the last product. Now let's just move on and look at the next one. Okay, to people standing on pages. And I need to tell you that this idiom is very often used during discovery meetings, especially at the beginning. Before you ask any questions, you need to check. Actually, you want to ask the questions because you want to be on the same page, yes, with your client. Okay, so I'd like to ask you a lot of questions because I want to check if we are on the same page. Okay, so it means that you agree what you are trying to achieve. Okay. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for your answers. I can see them. Nice. Let's just check the next one. Okay. Can you see the picture? So that's a nutshell. Okay. So that was actually in the title. So in a nutshell. So what does it mean? In a nutshell. Do you know? So in a nutshell means what? Yeah. Think about it. Great. I can see, and I'm very happy that you interact, okay? That you thought that you are here with me and that you comment and type in your answers. I'm very happy about it. So in a nutshell means yes, to in a very clear way, using few words. So you would use it rather at the end of your discovery meeting. Yes. So in a nutshell, okay, and then you can summarize, okay, what you think the client needs. Let's just look at the next one. Okay. So again, very interesting picture generated by artificial intelligence. We have a man going to the table and bringing books. Okay. So these pictures actually are there to help you memorize. Remember that there are some techniques to help you memorize, especially idioms, because what's an idiom? An idiom is a group of words where you can't figure out the meaning from the literal meaning of the words. Okay, so you are not able to recognize what it means. You have to actually learn what it means. Okay, so that's why we have here a man walking to the table, bringing some books to the table, so that you remember the idiom, which is, any ideas? Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. Interesting. Hit the box. Okay. Good. That's not the one. It's bring to the table. Okay, well, I know that books may be here a bit confusing, but bringing to the table. Okay, if thank you. Bring something to the table. Okay, I can see right now. Yes. Okay, bring something to the table. Okay, so if you want to bring something to the table, you want to contribute something useful to a discussion, to a project. Okay, so definitely you want to assure your client during the discovery meeting that your product will bring to the table, but bring something to the table. Yes, to the project, to their company, to their CRM system. Okay, let's just look at the next one. Sorry. No. So we have a woman. I don't know if it's visible, but she's throwing stones at birds. This idiom, you can type in the chat if you know. This idiom is maybe a bit dramatic, okay, but I use it a lot and I like when it happens. Okay, we are busy and we usually want this to happen during some meetings. Okay, any associations? Throwing stones at birds. Okay, so I will give you the answer. Kill two birds with one stone. Okay, two birds with one stone. Yes. Okay, thank you. So it's about killing, unfortunately. So yeah, we can kill two birds with one stone with this system. Okay, so we can achieve two things at the same time with one action. Okay, so thank you. And let's just look at this. Maybe it's not very clear. We have stone, hard stones, and there is something between them, a piece of paper. Probably it's stuck there. So try, what is it? Okay, so there is something between. I'm helping you. You can type in the chat if you know this idiom. Okay. This one, this idiom can be used when you're in a difficult position. Sometimes you are. Oh, very good. Yeah, very good expression here by Magda, but it's unfortunately it's not it. Okay. But thank you for this. It's between. Very good. Between a rock and a hard place. We can use, thank you for this answer. We can use different verbs with it. We have be caught between a rock and a hard place. Okay, so be in a situation where you have to choose between two things, both of which are unpleasant, actually. I don't wish you this, but sometimes we need to do it. And you can say, I am, like here, between a rock and a hard place. I am caught, you can say. I found myself. So the verb can be different, okay? So just try to remember that some idioms are very fixed, but some of them are quite flexible, okay? And this one is quite flexible. You can use different verbs with it, okay? Another one, okay? I need to tell you that it was difficult for me to find a good picture for it. So I will help you. It's a plant growing from ground. Okay, so starting from the bottom to the top. Any ideas? What kind of idiom? It can be used at the beginning at the beginning of a discovery call, when you ask questions and your client would like you to do something. Yes, and it's nice when they want you to do this. From any ideas? Okay, it's from the ground up. Okay, I know it's it. Oh, from scratch, start from scratch, very similar. Thank you. It's very, very similar. This one is from the ground up. Okay, and what it means from the ground up, it's quite informal, but sometimes during discovery calls you can use informal or semi-formal idioms. It's completely or including everything, starting with the most basic things. So it's not the same as start from the scratch, okay? Because you start from the scratch, but it doesn't mean that you do everything. When you use from the ground up, you start from the scratch, but you do everything, yes, completely, including everything, starting with the most basic things to the most complicated ones. And the last one, I think it's quite easy. Sometimes clients use it, like they say, okay, so I need something more complicated because what? There's a rocket in the picture. Any ideas? Great. Yes, rocket science. We use it always with negative. Well, it's not rocket science, okay? And yeah, your client may say it's not rocket science that we want this or that. So rocket science is used to emphasize that something is easy to do or to understand. Yes, skyrocketing. True. Yes. Okay. We want our clients, the number of our clients to skyrocket as well. Good, thank you. Okay, so these are the idioms that we have here. Thank you very much for your answers. And we have another exercise here. Okay, just to recall, like I will just go back for a moment. I will tell you why I need this. Because okay, now you saw the pictures, you have associations, neurons, okay, and new neurons in your head, so you associate the idiom with the picture. Now let's practice, okay, if you remember the idioms. Okay, so we have gapped sentences here, and the beginning of the idiom is there. Okay, now you don't have to type in the chat, just practice for yourself. Okay, now, okay, and also you will see the context, how we use the idioms in context of sentences. Okay, are you ready? So the first one, let's hit, try to finish on your side, say it out loud for yourself, use as many different senses, so like hearing, your sight, you can touch something, just to remember it. Okay, the next one, before we proceed, let's ensure we are all on. Say it out loud. In A, our solution aims to streamline your workflow and boost efficiency. Say it out loud, really, just for yourself, to practice the idioms. If you're not alone in the office or in the room, then just say it, just whisper it to the screen. Another one, I'm confident that my team can bring innovative ideas and expertise tailored to your needs. Another one, with our strategy, we can kill by increasing productivity while reducing costs. I understand you're between, but our adaptable approach can help navigate challenges smoothly. Starting from, we'll build a customized solution that aligns perfectly with your requirements. It's not the last one. To see our integrated software will revolutionize your operations. Here you have the answers, just to check. And I hope that you will remember idioms as well. So we have questions done, idioms and sophisticated vocabulary that can be used during discovery meeting done. Are you ready for more? Okay. I hope you are. Okay. So the next slide, the next tip is about showing that you listen. Okay. I once heard that actually you don't have to show that you listen if you are really listening. Okay, if you really are listening. Okay, so that's true. You don't have to nod your head or look someone's in the eyes. Okay, if you really listen to them, but definitely during a discovery call, your client would like to be heard. Okay, they want to be heard, and we all want to be heard, and we want to know that we are listened to. Okay, so if you want to get to know your client's pain points, you need to listen carefully. You need to paraphrase, so you don't need to nod or look into someone's eyes, but express active listening by paraphrasing. And I'm going to show you some expressions that can be used during discovery call. So here you have the expressions. I'm going to read them. So if I understood correctly, you're saying, and you try to repeat someone's words, okay? Let me make sure I've got this right. You're suggesting, okay, and as you notice, I'm changing my tone of voice, and it's important discovery meeting in paraphrasing to change your tone of voice. So sometimes it's not so important what you're saying by how you're saying it. Okay, maybe both things are equally important. Okay, so just be careful with your tone of voice as well. If I'm hearing you correctly, you're expressing that to clarify, you're indicating that. So just to reiterate, you're highlighting. If I'm following along, you're conveying that. Let me summarize what I've gathered. You're sharing that. In other words, you're essentially stating that. Okay, so you see, these are quite common expressions to clarify, very common. And then you can swap, you can change, like, I'm sorry, these expressions. You can mix them a bit. Important words here are understand, make sure I've got this right, hearing you correctly, to clarify, in other words. Okay, let me summarize. So, and it's very important to use continuous tense here. Okay, you're saying, because it's at the moment, you're suggesting, you're expressing, you're indicating, you're highlighting, you're conveying, you're sharing, you're stating. Okay, these are all words, again, connected with speaking. Okay, and now in the next slide, we are going to come back to the dialogue that we had previously, but this time I'd like you to look at the client's sentences, the client's words, try to read them and try to paraphrase them. Okay, using what you just learned from the previous slide. Just remember about this beginning, if I understand, clarify, and etc. And present continuous. So you're saying, you're stating. Okay, so I'm just going to give you 1 or 2 minutes. You can type in the chat if you want to just receive feedback from me. Okay, try to check, challenge yourself. Okay. Okay. So, for example, we can say, so if I understand correctly, you are stating that you need a CRM solution that can grasp your processes from the beginning till the end, for example. Yes? Okay. Thank you. So now, are you ready for the last tip? Last but not least. So let's move to the next slide. Tip number 4. Refer to what has been said and what you are going to talk about. Okay. I think that you know that some discovery calls can be quite long, and it's good to be able to order the information from time to time. It will also show that you listen. Okay. So let's just look at the picture that you have in the next slide. Okay. It can be confusing. Okay. So look. Okay. Wow. Okay. A lot of different arrows and numbers. So I'd like you to look at the picture and the arrows and on the words on the right, and try to match the words with the arrows. Okay, so I'm just going to give you again a minute to look at it, think, and in a moment I'm going to show you the answers. The words that we have there, actually expressions, mostly verbs. In closing, digress, return to, start off, turn to, expand on, go back to, come on to this later. Actually, like some of them can be used at the beginning of the talk or in the middle somewhere or in the end. It depends on the stage of the discovery call. So try to match them. Okay, try to match the expressions with the numbers and the arrows. Again, I can give you a minute to look at it, try to do it. If you want, you can type your answer in the chat. Okay. I hope you're ready. So let's just look at the answers. Okay. They are in the next slide. So you can change the form. Okay. I forgot to tell you that you can change the form of these. Okay. Look. Okay. I'm going to, you can say like number 1 is, I'm going to start off by. Okay, so at the beginning, yes. Okay, turning for a moment to the question of, yes. So you can say like, I'm going to start off by introducing our company. Okay, turning for a moment to the question of your system, and then you can just change the topic a bit. Okay, to ask for something else. Maybe it's also important. Then you can say, oh, to return to my point, that's number 3, to return to my point here, we can design this for you, yes, from ground up. Okay. Number 4, I'll be coming on to this later. So if they ask you about something that you really want to discuss later on, you can say, I'll be coming on to this later. Number 5, let's expand on that a little. So here, if you want to get to know more details or present more details. Number 6, to digress for a moment, okay, if you want to change the topic a bit. Number 7, going back to what I was saying earlier, okay, so if you want to refer to the beginning of the conversation. And number 8, in closing, so when you want to finish, summarize again, okay, in closing, in a nutshell, you can add it here. Great. Okay, we are slowly finishing this great webinar with you. It's great because it's with you. I'm happy to do it for you. So going back to what I said at the beginning, for those who stayed with us till now, there's a surprise, okay? And you can see the surprise now on your screen. We have special offer only till the 8th of March, okay? We have extra hours to our courses, okay? So we have 1 extra hour to business English 30 hours course, 2 hours extra to business English 60-hour course, and 3 hours extra to English plus skills workshops. Okay, maybe I will just tell you that English plus skills are special short 15-hour long workshops for individuals and groups, and they are dedicated to very specific skills like communication skills, conducting and participating in meetings, presenting, so doing presentations, negotiating, okay, customer care. So these are very, very narrow, very specific, done with a trainer and practiced a lot. Okay, so these are skills. And if you want to receive this bonus, you need to contact Natalia. You can see her phone number and email right now on the screen, and you need to give her the code /discovery, sorry, not slash, hashtag discovery call. Okay, so this is for you, a surprise, a gift. So thank you. That's the end. If you have, we have like 5 minutes for questions. If you have any questions right now, you can ask me. I would like to thank you a lot for being here with me. I hope that you learned some questions, verbs that you can use for questions, the difference between direct and indirect questions, some idioms, how you can use the idioms, how you can paraphrase, and how you can structure and organize your talk, and not only. So it's been a great pleasure for me to be here with you. Thank you very much. I will be here till 11 if you have any questions. I just received a question about the slides. If you want, because you are going to receive a recording, okay? So you will be able to go through the slides during the recording. You can reach out to me if you need more, okay? If you receive the recording and it's not enough for you, then you can just drop me or CoAction an email to ask for more. Thank you very much once again. Hope to see you soon. Bye.